Americans currently owe about $1.5 trillion in student debt. But how much is $1.5 trillion? Trillion with 12 zeros. If you stacked $100 bills, your stack would pass the International Space Station and keep going an additional 700 miles. That stack would be almost 950 miles tall. And this number only continues to increase. In fact, it went up about $79 billion in 1 year alone, 2018. That means that in a single minute, student debt in the US increases by $150,000. So by the end of this video, national US student debt will increase by over $500,000. That's over $4,500 for every person in the US, including you, me, and your grandma. As a high schooler myself, I know that we've been taught grammar equations and that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, but we haven't been taught how to navigate the financial decisions we make in college. In fact, many of us have been lied to about the real cost of college and how much you can reasonably pay off. It's not all your parents' fault, though. Most of our parents went to college in the 90s. That was about 30 years ago, and a lot has changed in 30 years. At a state university like Sac State University, 30 years ago you could work a part-time, minimum wage job 20 hours a week and pay off 108% of your college tuition, room, and board. Now you could work that same job and pay all of it towards college and be left with $30,000 to pay off. Diploma in hand, that would take you an extra 8 years to pay off with your starting salary of your new career. Needless to say, parents don't exactly have up-to-date information to give you on your journey to financially supporting yourself in college. Want to know the scary bit? 7 out of 10 students leave college with student debt. Some with degrees to show for it, and some without. Graduating students with a bachelor's degree left with an average of $37,000 in debt. That's enough to pay for your dream wedding, a down payment on a new house, or even a Tesla Model 3. But what about students who leave college early without a degree? In the 2015-2016 school year, as many as 4 million students dropped out of college or didn't finish their degrees. Many think that just because you didn't earn the degree, that means you don't have to pay back the student loans, but they do. And students in this predicament owe, on average, more than $10,000 in debt. But the difference is that these students don't get a salary that reflects the classes they took debt for. In past years, we've seen an increase in concern for student debt. Many debt-carrying students choose to delay getting married, having kids, or buying a home. Many students also choose to move back in with their parents to save money to pay for student loans. Not all student debt can be avoided, though. We need doctors, lawyers, teachers, engineers, scientists, writers, computer programmers, historians, innovators, and so much more. Many times, you need a college degree to pursue those paths, and you might need to take debt to make it happen. But there are always ways to minimize the financial risk that you take in getting your degree. I recommend that you take 50% of your future first year's salary in student loans for you to be able to reasonably pay it off. I'll explain more about this later if you keep watching. Just remember 50%. An important question to ask yourself is if college is even the right decision for you. College can open the doors to higher income potential and specialty career paths. As we discussed earlier, debt can follow you even if you don't earn a degree, so it may be a worse decision to take on debt for a degree you were never intent on finishing. Talking to your parents or your school counselor can help in making the right decision for you, even if that decision isn't going to college. However, for those students who decide to pursue a college path, a first good step in making an educated decision is exploring the grad rates at your desired college. Mobile search engines like Google has made this really easy to find. Simply search your college and look for outcomes. Grad rates are an important predictor of the school's ability to support you in completing your degree. Avoiding schools with low grad rates can help you be successful in the long run. The next step you can take is to apply to many schools, because you never know what opportunities you would get unless you applied. The 1 or 2 schools you may want to go to may not be a reasonable option for you, so applying to many schools would eliminate the stress of not having any more options. When all is said and done, your school counselor can be your best friend in finding support options for your college life. They have an educated view on the available scholarships and grants that you qualify for. Student counselors can also help you in understanding and timely filing FAFSA. You can also financially support yourself through replacing the first 2 years of a 4-year university with low-cost community college to lighten the load. You're probably wondering, what about part-time jobs? Jobs in college have both pros and cons. While of course the money would help you pay off loans for student debt, it would also take time away from your classes. Working too many hours can be harmful to your academics. Having a C or lower on average is more common for students who work 15 hours or more, while those who work less than 15 hours have Bs or higher on average. For students who need jobs to support themselves financially or want jobs for other reasons, this means that working 15 hours or less was a healthy option. While those who choose to work longer hours sacrifice their grades and time commitment to their classes. In the end, loans are not always avoidable, but they may be the most beneficial way to access higher income in the future. Minimizing the amount of debt that you take will leave a positive impact on the rest of your life. According to financial planners and my own research, there's a safe amount of student loans that you can take based on your expected future first-year salary. Remember the 50% number we mentioned earlier? Here it is again. And we especially recommend prioritizing subsidized over unsubsidized loans. So how do you find your future first-year salary? Well, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, or BLS.gov, has made this information accessible. For now, let's look at being a civil engineer in California earning about $60,000 per year, which is the data I pulled from the Bureau of Labor Statistics wage estimator. Taking 50% of this first-year salary would be $30,000 in loans. Most student loans are paid back over a 10 or 15-year time period, and monthly payments remain the same over those years. In my example, I would be paying back $340 per month, every month, for 10 years. As you can see, even by paying $340 per month, I would end up paying almost $11,000 in interest. Listen, there are always going to be the Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warrens of the world trying to make college more affordable or eliminating debt altogether. There are always going to be parents and grandparents who will tell you about how they successfully worked their way through college without debt. But that's probably not going to be you. You should educate yourself on the options available to pay for college and know that when you sign for college loans, you're the one burdened to pay them back. Bernie probably won't be helping you there, and your grandparents may not either. It's your life on the line, so be resourceful, be informed, and remember 50%. $1,000. That's over $4,000. Alrighty, here we go again. One more time. Am I stepping on something? What's happening? Huh? Oh no. That's all, folks.